Aydar Gubayev, Transparency International, Kazakhstan. Well, first of all, I wanted to reply to Drew, maybe even disagree a little bit. Articles that expose kleptocrats, they have objective value by themselves because they expose a naked king. And that by itself is a real melody of justice. After which the reputation is not absolute. Not everyone wants to shake hands with the kleptocratic leaders after these articles, and that's maybe the whole point, or at least a very substantial one. My question goes to Mary. You said that you had litigation for $3 billion and then 1.7 was returned and 1.2 actually was moved to Malaysia. I was wondering why there is a difference and what are the risks, what are the challenges for the money that would be frozen, that would be identified and received by Justice Department in the US, but they wouldn't be returned to the country of origin. Thank you.
So the $3 billion represents the purchase value of assets that we're litigating. So we don't have legal title to that property yet. That's the goal of confiscation, is we take title, the government takes title to the property awarded by the court. The difference between the 1.7, which we have recovered, and the 1.2, which we have returned and assisted in returning, is the amount we're negotiating to return. So under GFAR principles and also just common sense, we don't return money without assurances of transparency and accountability, because we want to be able to make the point that the money was taken in violation of the rule of law and it was returned through the rule of law, and that it isn't likely to be stolen again or misappropriated again. So there's a lag time in the liquidation of assets that we have title to. There's a lag time in negotiating and entering into these final resolutions. A good example is the Gambia. And this is not in defense of why it took so long for us to actually confiscate that house. We read your stories. We know that there are kleptocrats who own houses in Potomac, Maryland. We know that. The Gambia was one we knew about for years. Our problem is we have to link the asset to a specific crime covered by our statute. And the evidence of the crimes was in the Gambia. Who paid bribes? What government funds were embezzled? And it wasn't until the Truth and Reconciliation Commission conducted its hearings and made its findings that we had an opening to see where this money that bought the Potomac house came from. And so it took us a long time to be able to articulate to a court the basis to believe that this asset was purchased with dirty money. And then, of course, we have to get the final confiscation order, then we have to liquidate. And the house is for sale now. The discussions about how to return the money with the government and in part with civil society have already begun. And so we're in that process, but the Gambia is an example of where that delta is.
Next question, please.